Good evening. They are there representing 5.2 million of us for a game which will have it all. Grunt, grief and Queensland hopes glory.
They must salvage the State of Origin series to force a decider here in Brisbane. Liam Bland is at the team hotel. Liam, are our Maroons on their way to the MCG?
Sarah, Max, they've just set off in the past few minutes and our fans, friends and family have boarded the bus behind me, bound for Melbourne's behemoth battleground. We're finally about to find out what plan's been hatched to unleash super sub Reece Walsh off the bench and if Queensland can overcome a more than 30-year MCG hoodoo. Down 1-0, only a win will do for Billy Slater's side as they look to push the series to a Suncorp decider. Under overcast skies at Melbourne's Albert Park. A final stretch of the legs for the Maroons before it's do or die.
Pressure's a privilege. Playing for Queensland is an absolute privilege.
Stars of games gone, signing jerseys, even snapping pictures with fans. The squad wrapping their arms around each other. Alfie! Especially Tino Fa'asuamaleaui, following the loss of his father days ago.
He's been fantastic. He's come in, been open and honest about how he's going, and he seems like he's in a really good spot.
Queensland will run into the MCG as underdogs, but family who drove them to their first junior game are confident.
We've had a great ride. We've been very lucky. Kurt's been involved now for 10 years or so. Not 10 years in Origin, but been a fair few. And yeah, we're just in it for the ride.
Queensland win all right, mate. Queensland by 30.
Victorians are all Queensland. They hate New South Wales. We hope.
The enemy isn't always the competition, it's a different code.
Do you mind if I show you a photo and ask you if you can name this player?
Good luck.
Okay?
Does he play for Collingwood?
Do you know who this is?
No idea.
Do you know who this is?
No.
He plays for the Melbourne Storm.
Okay, yeah, no.
Can you tell me who this player is?
No.
1,800 kilometres from the G in Hervey Bay, Shane Jacob is painting the town maroon in spirit.
Everybody in Queensland is proud of our team and I am too.
These diehards have just touched down, flying first class on a charter out of Archerfield.
To get a private jet down to Melbourne, I mean, it's not something that happens every day, so pretty excited about it and yeah, pretty pumped to go to the game tonight.
VB is flying them back for work tomorrow. In Melbourne, Liam Bland, 7 News.
And Seven League expert Shane Webke is at the MCG tonight. Webby, they'll charge into the G with a little desperation and emotion.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of both of those, Sarah, and why not? Queensland come here tonight to save the series and obviously to honour their teammate and the loss that he has been through. That means we'll see the very best of Queensland here tonight. Of course, if we've just heard, history has not been kind to us here at the MCG. 30-odd years since we had a victory, and that was the famous 95 side, the Neville Nobodies, coached by Paul Vorton. The tenacity, the strength, the resolution that they showed to win that series, that will be part of the Queensland boys here tonight. And whilst history hasn't been kind to us here at the MCG, more recent Origin history has. It's never good to lose game one, but for Queensland, they come here tonight feeling that they were wronged in the opening game of the series. They're coming here to make a statement and to say, you know what, we should have won the first game, but we're definitely going to win this game. So we're definitely going to see a huge game. And the other reason that we will is because it's the MCG. This is one of the most iconic sporting stadiums in Australia, which has hosted all sorts of massive Australian events. Players from both sides will tap into that, which means we are going to see one heck of a contest. I'll be back a little bit later on Sports, Sarah, to tell you how Queensland go about winning that contest.
Look forward to it. Huge night ahead. Thanks, Webby. Pauline Hanson has delivered one of the defining addresses of her life in her first appearance at the National Press Club. It was filled with fire and brimstone. She had plenty of targets as she outlined her vision for Australia, which abandons multiculturalism and scraps maternity leave. And protesters hit back right there in the room.
At Pauline Hanson's first ever Press Club lunch, an uninvited guest unfurls, making nasty comments behind her back. The banner quickly torn down.
Just tell me, is this another first? I believe it is. I believe it is.
I get a lot of first in my life.
It is. Protest group Get Up claiming responsibility, protesting outside. While inside, Get Up's new campaign director David Shiraz, husband of former Liberal staffer Brittany Higgins, making a swift exit soon after. A stunt first used against Britain's reform leader Nigel Farage, who shares Pauline Hanson's central message.
We cannot be a multicultural society.
Insisting Australia can be multiracial,
but we must be monocultural.
Promising to slash net migration to 130,000 people a year and deport 75,000 overstayers.
Western civilisation and its values are under siege.
The centre of attention, despite an orchestrated diversion, 9 ministers all talking on different issues. The biggest $3.6 billion to continue funding 15% pay rises for 200,000 childcare workers for another 18 months.
What we've done in areas such as this is make sure that workers can be properly paid.
That an obvious dig at Pauline Hanson, who's fighting to represent working Australians but opposing minimum wage rises, same jobs, same pay and wage theft laws, and arguing the bosses should have more power to sack staff. How is any of that helping working Australians?
Well, I'd tell you, Mark, is it really working for small business out there, industries and manufacturing?
And on the gender pay gap, this.
The difference is that if women take time off and they are not paid their wages because they're not working, fair enough. Why should business pay them if they're not at work?
An argument against maternity leave. Senator Hanson also promised to abolish the SBS and turn the ABC into a paid subscription service in the cities, redirecting its funding to cost of living relief. And that protest banner, a dumb stunt that will backfire spectacularly, giving One Nation supporters more reason to rally behind Pauline Hanson as a disruptor. The Press Club tonight sending the AFP evidence of 2 people erecting the remote control banner yesterday and of David Shiraz filming today's stunt on his phone before leaving, now facing a possible criminal investigation. Max.
Mark Riley in Canberra. It'll be more expensive to live and work in Brisbane, with rates, car parking and dog registrations going up. Still, the Lord Mayor is describing it as a cost of living budget. The rises are mild, below inflation and what other councils are charging.
For more than 20 years, Dominique O'Leary's loved calling Brisbane home.
I'm so lucky to live there.
Soon it will cost more, rates rising by 3.97% for owner-occupiers, an average of $1.22 a week.
That's going to make things really tough for people.
Part of Brisbane City Council's $3.9 billion budget.
It's a cost of living budget.
Cost of surviving budget?
Business rates will go up by an average of 5 to 10%. Fees and charges will rise by an average of 4.8%. Parking will cost an extra 10 to 20 cents an